Cell versus Metal Sonic.
Which copycat android is truly the superior model?
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their
I
weapons,
love this
armor,
channel.
and skills
This is
to
on
find
the
out
fact
who
channel on
would
YouTube.
win
I've been watching
a
this
death
like
battle.
years. Okay, it's just maybe a bit fun.
There's a monster stalking Gingertown. No one who's seen it has lived to tell the tale. All it left behind was their clothes. Something ate these people's insides, leaving only a shadow behind.
Some kind of creature driven only by the need to feed. Earth's new apex predator, the ultimate life form.
The Namekian Piccolo went to investigate this manslayer and discovered that it was intelligent. Its tail could unravel to absorb its hapless victims and add their energy to its wretched gestalt.
But the nightmare was only just beginning, because for its last trick, somehow this freak of nature knew the Kamehameha.
The mystery of this creature's origin was decades in the making. Years ago, the world was terrorized by the most advanced
Cell is
paramilitary
probably one of my
organization
favorite
in
villains
history,
in the whole Dragon
Red
Ball.
Ribbon Army.
Until
That
they
is
got rocked by this little
including
kung
on
fu
Dragon Ball Z
gremlin,
Bridge.
Son Goku.
But Red Ribbon's dream of revenge
So I much prefer
lived
Cell
on
as a
within their
villain
head scientist,
named
Dr.
Frieza.
Gero.
Hiding away in his spooky cave
And I do not know
laboratory,
why they did not
Gero
get
would go
Cell
to work
to
studying
fight
the Z fighters from
in
afar,
Dragon Ball Z
learning
Super.
everything there was to
No,
know
not Super,
about him.
it's-
And
Yeah,
building
Dragon
a
Ball Z
series of
Super.
androids that would destroy his spiky-haired nemesis once
I don't know why
and
they
for
got
all.
Frieza.
He made a
It
ton
says
of
Cell.
them. Infinite
Cell's stronger than
energy
Frieza.
androids, key-absorbing androids, trucker head androids, and even, ginger androids.
However, none of Gero's creations were capable of matching that drive to improve that Goku and his fellow martial artists possessed.
Luckily, he had one more android left. A cute little booger so complex he'd take years after Gero's death to complete. Its name was Cell.
Born from a single cell, get it? This android possessed the genetic information of all the greatest warriors that had battled on Earth, and, when fully evolved, would become unstoppable.
And with their DNA, Cell absorbed all their powers and techniques too.
Common among all of them is the power to manipulate ki, or the energy that exists in all living things, and weaponize it to fire energy blasts, fly at faster than light speeds, move things with telekinesis, and create force fields.
From the humans, Krillin and Tien, Cell knows the multiform technique, Destructo Disc, and the Tri-Beam, his extra special favorite. Oh, weird, I'm not seeing Chaozu on this list. Sorry, bud.
Is Chaozu human?
Oh.
Okay. Cell can fire the Death Beam, as well as breathe in and travel through the vacuum of space with the alien genes of Frieza and his father.
And because he's got Piccolo's DNA, Cell can regenerate humongous damage to his body at the cost of some ki.
Cell has survived having half his body vaporized multiple times, and cannot be destroyed unless the small cluster of cells at the core of his being is eradicated.
Should that little bugger survive, Cell will always return, even
Okay, in
stronger
Dragon
than
Ball
before
Z,
because of the Saiyan DNA he got from Goku and
Dragon Ball Z
Vegeta.
Kai,
Definitely the
and Dragon
cream
Z
of the
Bridge.
genetic corrupt.
Why does
he
no
can
one ever
perfectly
use
replicate
this
attacks like the
more
Gallic
often?
Gun, Spirit Bomb, and of course
Like,
Kamehameha,
seriously,
as well
like,
as
that should be
teleport
like
by
the
locking onto a
go-to
living
attack
being's key
for
signature.
anyone.
But the best part of being a Saiyan is how much crazy stronger they get every time they almost die.
They can even evolve to become orders of magnitude stronger in the midst of battle. Combine that with Cell's healing factor, and he is effectively the ultimate warrior.
Like a perpetual shonen motion machine.
Driven by a biological imperative, Cell wanted nothing more than to devour Gero's previous androids, 17 and 18, believing it would make him perfect.
Only one problem. The Cell we know was born in the future, and both 17 and 18 had been destroyed. So he murdered Trunks and went back in time. Not our Trunks, future Trunks. Well, not future Trunks, but another future Trunks. It's very complicated. There's like 5 timelines.
As Cell defeated and absorbed the androids, he evolved, not only getting stronger, but changing his personality and developing a lust for battle.
He became less creepy bug serial killer and more, well, Saiyan. After exploiting that very Saiyan arrogance and warrior's pride, Cell finally became perfect.
And easily dominated Trunks and Vegeta, the latter of whom had decades of battle experience under his belt.
Perfect Cell's power was off the charts. He could threaten the whole Earth just by powering up. With a full power Kamehameha, he was even capable of destroying our entire solar system.
While the vast majority of our solar system's mass is located in the sun, this still means that Cell's key wave would have to reach 2.8 billion miles to eradicate every planet.
But Wiz, maybe he was just exaggerating.
Not likely. Cell's claim has been backed up in multiple guidebooks and even demonstrated outright in the video games.
Cell's even stronger in the anime adaptation, considering the time Frieza blew up Namek. In the anime, the explosion was literally hundreds of light years wide and lit up the friggin' galaxy.
And Cell was far stronger than Frieza was at that point in time.
Hell, the Namekians could sense him all the way from a different galaxy and thought he might be a threat to the whole universe.
He's also incredibly fast, capable of blitzing even the strongest Z fighters at the time. Goku flew from Grand Kai's planet of heaven all the way to hell, hundreds of billions of light years in half a minute. And that was in his base form.
Yeah, that's cool, but how about the power to squeeze mini Cell Juniors out of your butt? What? Never heard of that key technique? Call it the Kegel.
Perfect Cell was entirely without peer and, no longer wedded to Giro's petty grudge, decided to prove it with a tournament.
The Cell Games! And if Goku couldn't even beat him, what hope did anyone else have? Vegeta couldn't even handle a Cell Jr.
Their last hope was Goku's own son, Gohan.
After Cell arrogantly let him power up, Gohan unleashed his rage, pushed the bug monster to his absolute limits, and beat him.
I think I've
Cell,
watched
you
Dragon
really
Ball
are
Z
related to
Abridged
Vegeta,
before I
aren't
even
you?
watched Dragon Ball
In
Z.
truth, Cell was a victim
So
of his
for
own
me-
success. The same
Dragon Ball
Saiyan
Z
genes that made
Abridged
him
is more
all
of a canon
powerful
for me,
also
because
sowed
that's
the
the one I
seeds of his
watch.
defeat.
He got so mad he even blew
I can't imagine
himself
Pep
up.
Cell,
Maybe he does have
unless
some
it's Dragon Ball
Chaozu
Z
in him
Abridged
after
Cell.
all.
Well, that
Even
or
that
Devolve
wasn't enough to
Cell.
totally put him down, and he
Both
came
cells.
back with the same Super Saiyan power-up that Gohan had just unlocked.
Super perfect Cell. Now with more lightning, in a battle for the ages, Cell put the entire weight of his biological programming against one lone Saiyan and went the distance.
But in the end, it still wasn't enough. No matter how brilliantly Dr. Gero copied the Z-Fighters, he still couldn't quite figure out their knack for going beyond.
What can be destroyed can always be rebuilt. All it takes to recreate the most fearsome warrior in the universe is one single cell.
Time and
a
again,
little bit
the
different.
world and its cuddly forest critters were threatened by the evil and oval
Alright, Metal
Dr.
Sonic's turn.
Ivo Eggman Robotnik.
Yeah, they do like a
And time and
background check
again,
on the
that same
characters.
world and those
and the
same
power
critters
scales
were
and
saved
everything.
by Sonic the
So you know,
Hedgehog.
who's
No matter
how
how
from
many
they are.
robotic badniks the good doctor threw at his blue spiky nemesis,
I
his schemes were
know
always
nothing
6
about
spin
Metal
jumps
Sonic
to the
other
glowing
than
weak spot
he was
away
in
from
Sonic
getting
Heroes.
cracked and scrambled.
But
The
it
best
wouldn't
Sonic
be
game
over
ever.
easy for
Like,
Eggman.
you can't beat
If
Sonic
he couldn't
Heroes.
defeat the Blue Blur, he would make his own, Metal Sonic.
Well,
I
0
know
points on
Metal Sonic
creativity
is
for that name, but god
stupid
damn,
overpowered
he
if you
does
watch the
look
Eggman
metal as
versus
hell.
Bowser
They say
Army.
imitation is the
Their
sincerest
battle.
form of
That's
flattery,
a great
so
one.
Eggman built Metal with more than enough blast processing to match his prototype.
Metal can zoom around at massively hypersonic speeds, fast enough to fly to nearby planets in seconds.
He's tougher than Eggman's standard equipment, some of which can survive black holes.
Metal can use all of Sonic's power-ups, and even replicate his classic spin dash and light speed attack.
But he's got moves of his own.
He can attack with energy blast, fire a chest laser, surround himself in an electric aura, or an impenetrable force field.
By overloading his circuitry with energy, Metal can activate V maximum overdrive, quadrupling his acceleration and obliterating anything in his path, at the risk of self-destructing.
You'd think all that'd be enough to turn the rodent into roadkill, but it only took one showdown on Stardust Speedway to send Metal to the scrap heap.
On paper, Metal should be able to outmatch Sonic in every way, and yet he doesn't. For some reason, Eggman wasn't able to capture that ineffable quality that makes Sonic the fastest thing alive. Metal's defeats at the hands of Sonic and his friends sharpened his AI into a seething hatred of his rival and a burning desire to prove himself superior.
Yeah, well, when you're getting your supersized red ass handed to you by Charmy B, you know something's gone horribly wrong.
Metal's defeats gave him an existential crisis. If he was created to surpass Sonic and couldn't even manage that, what was he? Why should he exist?
Never one to admit defeat, Eggman took Metal back to the drawing board and birthed him anew. You.
This Neo Metal Sonic was, above all, far smarter.
Especially after he copied Eggman's intelligence and took over his empire. And we mean literally copied. If Metal started as Sonic's copycat, why not hunt all of his furry friends down and copy them too?
Neo Metal Sonic is equipped with scanners in his optic receptors that can copy a person's
I don't know
bio data. giving him the
Metal
ability
Sonic,
to
or
recreate
Neo
all
Sonic,
of their abilities in
just looks
seconds.
Like
badass.
the Sonic
Okay.
Boom, Knuckles' hammer
He
punch,
does. He
Tails'
looks-
magical
he
swiveling
looks like a-
asshole, and Big's ability to
cool
suck
guy.
at fishing.
Metal isn't just learning
just a
their
cool
moves.
character.
He can replicate more esoteric powers like silver psychokinesis, manufacture Rouge's mechanical bat guards, or alter his very biology to copy Espio's chameleon invisibility. It's worth mentioning that biological data is a real scientific term and can refer to molecular structures like the genome sequence within a living organism's DNA.
Yeah, his copying is so busted, it doesn't really matter that he's a robot made of metal. If you can do it, so can he. Probably helps that he can shapeshift and regenerate his whole body from a puddle.
Likely by copying one of the mightiest beings on the planet, the god of destruction, Chaos.
Not the only chaos he's encountered.
By scanning the ultimate life form, Shadow the Hedgehog, he gained his ability to manipulate some of the most powerful artifacts in the universe.
You mean the Chaos Emeralds?
Yes, the emeralds contain an infinite wellspring of mystical power and life energy. With them, Metal can perform Shadow's chaos control. He can teleport, warp, and distort space, boost his speed, and stop time. And with either the Chaos Emeralds or Master Emerald, he can transform into Super Neo Metal Sonic.
Completely invulnerable and completely golden, Super Neo Metal Sonic can move at faster than light speeds and has the power to move continents.
The emeralds are inconceivably powerful. They've been used to fuel Eggman's Death Egg, which could obliterate star systems.
On their own, they can even create and destroy whole universes.
Other super characters like Sonic have battled and defeated beings like the Time Eater, who could destroy multiple dimensions and timelines in seconds. At their peak, 3 super hedgehogs have even fought Solaris, who nearly consumed Sonic's entire multiverse.
So Super Neo Metal Sonic should be just as powerful as any of them, though he's gotta be quick because all that power only lasts a short time.
The road to total domination was nearly at an end. After manipulating Sonic and friends and copying their abilities, Metal eventually combined their biodata with the mighty Egg Fleet and became Metal Overlord.
Complete with missiles, giant crystal projectiles, and the strength to match 3 supersonic heroes all by himself, Overlord is all-time final boss material.
And he knew it. His ego might as well have had its own health bar. Metal's drive to surpass his rival had morphed into the delusional belief that he was the original, and Sonic the loathsome copy.
A copy that Metal had finally outclassed. All the heroes Metal had gathered had to team up to take him down.
He may have stolen their abilities, but Metal never possessed the thing that made the Sonic heroes successful: their friendship and teamwork.
Aw, how cute! Gag. Probably should have added some of those goddamn rails to the final boss fight, because it is impossible to land on those things. After getting trashed again,
Okay.
Eggman reprogrammed Metal to purge
I'm
any
adding a
bits of
prediction, not a
rebelliousness from
poll.
his code.
Metal
Prediction is how we
returned
do
to
it.
being the Eggman Army's chief
Yeah, how it's
enforcer,
done.
always proving
you want to win
invaluable as
points.
the Bad Doctor's greatest
I-
creation,
yeah.
now completely obedient once again.
I don't know, Wiz. Who knows what's really going
I didn't
on
realise.
behind those
I'm not
glowing
used to
red
doing this
eyes.
stuff, okay?
Maybe
I want
Metal
to
is
do more
more
of this.
cunning than he lets on, and is only biding his time until he can take over again.
Maybe the most powerful thing that Metal copied was the ability to lie.
Right, there you go. It's a background of 2 characters.
Hey, I'm Chad, the voice of Boomstick. And if you don't believe me, well, what about now? That's what I thought. Look, the
I still
matchup is
can't get
about
over
to
that
begin, and we can't
voice
wait for you to
change
see
he
it.
does.
But first, I want to tell you
It's
about
ins-
a brand new thing coming to the Death Battle store.
Even
It's
though I've
something
just
guys
seen
have
you
been
do it, I
asking
still
for.
can't see it.
Matchup pitches. It's a way to meet with me and Ben, the creators of Death Battle, and pitch us a matchup that you've been wanting to see. Any matchup, any way you like. We'd love to hear from you. This was originally a Kickstarter reward, but due to popular demand, we wanted to keep it going. A lot of episodes of Death Battle that are currently being worked on are because of a pitch. So we want to give each pitch the time it needs,
Yeah.
so
So you've got
quantity
a
is
choice,
limited,
like either
so you better act quick. Death
Perfect
Battle
Cell
pitches are available right now
or
on
Metal Sonic.
deathbattle.gg. That's our website that's like a Patreon mixed with some other stuff. And if you're a
2
website
very
member,
strong
you get
characters.
discounts on all of our merch, including the pitch calls. While you're there, make sure you check out the Death Battle Retro Tee. It's a shirt we made like over a decade ago. The first Death Battle shirt, I found the file and recreated it, only on a much nicer shirt. So check that out while you're there. Anyway, let's get to the fight. I know you want to see it, and Boomstick wants to see one of these copycats get copy-capped. So here we go, and remember, deathbattle.gg. We want to hear your pitches. Thanks.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Salutations, Dr. Robotnik. Your reputation precedes you. Bring me your strongest fighter, or face...
Then prepare to kneel before your master.
Perfect.
The voice acting is insane. I love it. The animation is so good.
Tell me, does a machine like yourself ever experience fear?
Not anymore.
Metal Sonic is so badass. Oh, Phase 1 kills again. I need to complete that game.
You're dealing with the ultimate life form.
I already possess his data. Observe. Chaos. Control. Life form data successfully copied. Scum.
It'll take more than that to kill me, puppet!
I do think Dragon Ball should bring back Cell.
Now I know everything about you, insect.
Cell Junior versus Sonic Genius. No, Sonic Genius.
Don't you dare.
I love that. I love that part so much. If you watch from Zero Bridge, you know what that's referencing. If you haven't watched from Zero Bridge, I recommend it.
Just the greatest warrior in the universe. I am all of them!
If you are all of them, then so am I.
I'll never lose to a machine like...
I mean, that's no way too bad I can be.
You.
KO! So, now Metal's got all the powers of the Chaos Emeralds and the Z Fighters? Well, that world's fucked. Our bad.
Cell may have been one of the greatest threats in Dragon Ball Z, but Eggman's greatest creation ultimately proved too much for him. Let's break this down into 4 categories: strength, speed, abilities, and adaptation.
First up, who was the strongest? Well, it's no surprise that any version of Cell was gonna be way more powerful than base Metal or Neo. Even just using the manga, blowing up a solar system is far beyond the level of power output Metal can match.
Without his stronger forms. With them, the power gap entirely reversed. Not only could Metal match Cell's solar system busting or scaling from Frieza, but he could surpass it with the universe-destroying power of the Emeralds.
But hang on, Wiz. Those Namekians said that Cell was strong enough to threaten a universe on his own.
They did, but they didn't specify how, and there's nothing suggesting he could destroy it in one go, especially since it's only brought up theoretically and without any time frame.
Even being generous and assuming he could just blow it up, final bosses like Time Eater and Solaris can destroy the wider multiverse Universe, and Super Neo Metal would scale to them. Metal Sonic takes the edge in strength.
And with Sonic characters being known for their speed, you might think that was an easy win for Metal.
At his max speed in his super form, he should be comparable to entities like the Time Eater, who in Shadow Generations can destroy entire universes in seconds. By using the radius of the observable universe, we can estimate the Time Eater's destructive wave traveled at about 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Certainly
big-ass number.
impressive, but let's compare that to Goku's flight from heaven to hell shortly after the Cell games, which covered roughly a universe in distance at approximately 180 quadrillion times faster than light.
Hey, just like Time Eater. The difference, though, was that Goku was in his base form, way slower than Super Saiyan 2 Gohan or Super Perfect Cell.
Factoring in Super Saiyan multipliers, Super Perfect Cell can move upwards of 100
Yeah, but he
times
died
faster
and he's
than
in
that,
heaven. Does he
and
still
so
get his power
100
boost?
times faster than Metal Sonic. Somehow, Cell takes the edge in speed. You know, the thing Metal was designed for.
Wasn't expecting that. Let's see if any of their abilities could tip the scales.
They shared many of the same powers, like telekinesis, force fields, and energy projectiles. Of note though, Cell's regeneration was clearly superior, able to fully heal from a single cluster of microscopic cells.
On top of that, Cell's Saiyan genes would let him grow in power every time he almost died, and his Cell Juniors gave him the numbers advantage.
And considering Super Neo Metal had a time limit, Cell would have a big advantage in a battle of attrition.
But with Chaos Control, that became a lot tougher.
Cell and his juniors had no way to deal with Metal boosting his speed or stopping time, something that countered Cell's speed advantage and left him open. And with Silver Psychokinesis, or the Emerald Spatial Distortion, Metal could seriously impair Cell's healing.
So it helped that Cell could fall back on his martial arts abilities in a pinch.
Despite effectively being a newborn, Cell's genetic instincts allowed him to best Earth's most skilled warriors back to back to back.
Metal may have copied Eggman's brains, but he definitely isn't as good of a fighter. The Sonic heroes haven't trained like the Z fighters, and Metal's been beaten by all of them a bunch of times. So all that in mind, abilities is roughly a wash.
Which leaves us with the one thing they're both known for, their capability to evolve and become more powerful in response to their opponents, aka their adaptation.
And frankly, that's where this back and forth completely breaks. Because at the end of the day, Metal can copy Cell, but Cell can't absorb Metal.
Cell's ability to physically absorb an opponent
Yeah.
is primarily viable against foes he can match or overpower.
Even if he took
Cell's
Metal
strong.
by surprise,
Cell is a very
he can't
strong
absorb
character.
fully inorganic robots like
But
Android
as soon
16.
as you've got a
Cell
character
was
that
only
can
able
copy
to absorb Android 17
everything
and
you
18
can do,
because they were primarily organic.
yes,
They're
Metal Sonic
actually
can
more like
assume now.
cyborgs and are only called androids in the English translation.
Metal, on the other hand, can copy a target's biodata through only a few seconds of direct eyesight, something he could easily accomplish during a time stop.
And using it on Cell means he wouldn't just get Cell's powers, but the powers of all of the Z Warriors too.
Remember, Metal's copying applies to abilities that fundamentally affect his own biology, like Espio's invincibility or Chaos's liquid body. Nothing Cell has would be off limits, especially given all of Cell's powers were genetically
has a lot of
encoded in the
powers.
first place. Quite literally, biodata.
Cell's
So that's a
Saiyan
terrifying thought,
power-ups,
is now that Metal
copy.
Sonic
Cell's
has got
regeneration,
Super
copy.
Saiyan
Cell's key techniques, believe it or
transformations,
not, copy.
as well as
Chaos
Emerald
Emeralds are
Control
described as being
transformation.
able to produce
Okay.
life energy, similar to Ki. So there's a precedent for him being able to replicate Cell's power set. And at this point, there's nothing stopping Metal from, say, stopping time and using a Kamehameha to vaporize him at a cellular level, just like Gohan did.
Cell might be able to do anything the Z fighters know how to do, but that's not gonna help him, cause Metal can do anything Cell knows how to do. Strange, isn't it?
Cell just doesn't have any options to retaliate that Metal wouldn't also possess, including any of his previous advantages. Metal's copy ability is just that overpowered.
Oh, I guess now I get why they called it Sonic CD.
Why's that?
Cell died. Wiz, you get it? CD?
Alright,
Wiz, where you go? Come on back. Next time on Death
I want
Metal.
to check something in a minute as well. Just, I think it's around right here. Next one looks interesting. Rays versus
Subscribe and
Baku.
join as a member to see more Death.
So, I don't know what Rays can do. I've not seen that film yet. I need to. I just wanted to check this part. Well, I'll slow down a little bit. Because I just realised something.
You're dealing with
Because I think you can, I think his face changes from different versions of cells.
The old
Right.
fool, you're dealing with the ultimate
Yeah,
life
I'm pretty sure
form.
I can't really capture it.
I already possess his data. Observe.
I love that. Because Shadow's a perfect life form.
Life form data successfully copied. Scan.
Just ripping its
It'll
arm off.
take more than that to kill me, puppet!
I know. Now I know everything about you, insect.
Pretty sure Cell does have that same pose at one point with Vegeta. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure that's the thing that happens. Was it? And I thought you just noticed Cell's fun. But I love this part.
Don't you dare.
If you watch Dragon Ball Bridge, you'll get it. It's such a good thing. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed that, check out another one, or subscribe and stay up to date. Till next time, take care, have fun, and catch you later.